What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is AjaniGrim. I got nothing to say you. All I do got my opinion. So today we're going to be taking a look at some video about lust that actually changed my mind, and I actually hope that this video actually help some individuals as well. This video actually helped me clear out my mind a little bit more. It helps me see
with the passion of lust. There are a number of strategies, a number of ways we need to think if our battle is to be successful. We need to reflect on ourselves and what it is we're really feeling, what we're allowing to grow within us, and what it is we're doing. Many times people will excuse their lust, their passion, by blaming the women that they see in the street. Oh, they wear clothes that are so different to the past. They dress inappropriately. It's the summertime. Look how they're dressing. Do we not hear in this excuse the voice of Adam when he said, "The woman that you gave me, she led me to sin"? We must take responsibility for our lust.
Actually, come to think of it, I'm actually one of those individuals, and I'm pretty sure most guys are just one of those individuals that tend to be like, man, the girls nowadays are dressing way too different than before. You get what I mean? But a lot of the time, I would say like about 85% of the time, I do not lust over girls that are dressing that way anyways. You get what I mean? But yet again, there are a couple of times where I see some girls, most of the time it's on Instagram, like, golly. You know, so it's like one of those things. It's like guys got to take responsibility too, bro. Like, it's not just the women, you know. We play a huge role in it too.
Passion for the things that we do. We cannot go blaming others. When we confess, we're told never to confess the sins of others. It is always our own sins that we confess. So what kind of confession is this when we say, but it's their fault? Look how they dress. And we must ask ourselves, if my mother, my sister, my daughter were to dress in this way, would it evoke these kinds of passions within me? Hopefully most people would respond, of course not. Why then? Because already we feel differently towards these women than the women that we are allowing lust and the passion to overcome us towards. Why? Because we love these people. We love these people truly. Our sisters, our mothers, our daughters. We already carry in our hearts love for them.
So based on the video alone, like specifically, I've never actually truly loved my exes. You get what I mean? There's a difference between actually loving someone and lusting over them. You get what I mean? So like, this video is eye open. I've always felt that way, but it's just that sometimes you feel a lot better when someone else say it right in front of you, instead of you being like, oh yeah, I'm right. You know, sometimes we just play mind games. We play trick on ourselves. But yeah, based on the video, based on what I've experienced, like, I've never truly actually loved any girl in my life, which is very sad, but still.
We allow lust to overcome us towards some stranger or even somebody we know, then it is a lack of love in our hearts. We must recognize it is a complete lack of love to turn somebody into the object of our lust. And we must repent of this, recognize.
It's very sad that we've come to this point where guys cannot look at women guys cannot look at women with just, yeah, you're a friend of mine. We've come to the point that it's nearly hard to come across a guy that actually look at a woman and be like, yeah, you're a friend of mine. Instead of lusting over her, instead of having, oh man, what I would do to this girl. I'm not taking myself out of that. Believe it or not, I'm not taking myself out of that. I'm guilty just as the next guy. But it's kind of crazy how society is slowly deriving from the religious books, you know what I mean? That goes for the Quran, the Bible. It's just pathetic. It's just sad, you know?
And we must repent of this, recognize that our hearts are unloving. We need to change how we feel towards everyone, how it is that our hearts are experiencing other people. Is it love that we are allowing to grow within us? Is it the love of Christ? Or is it something more, something different? And are we feeding this lust and this passion? Nowadays, of course, many young men feel they are trapped by pornography. It's so available. And pornography, of course, as a number of recent fathers have said, is the iconography of the devil.
Like, I've seen so many dudes that are addicted to just porn, straight up, like just straight up, right? Back when I was going through boot camp, going to MCT, I noticed a lot of dudes was just addicted to porn, right? Luckily, me, I've never been addicted to porn. Literally, I don't even like watching porn like that. But it's kind of crazy. It's an eye opener once you start to realize, like, God damn, this is actually a problem. A lot of guys are addicted to porn. They cannot get away from it. Luckily, me, like, I've never been addicted to it. But it's a massive pandemic. The fact that so many guys are just addicted to it, to the point that there's a whole movement going around, no FAP, no any of that shit, right? It's crazy how it's getting bad out here. So, like, you as an individual, you just gotta, I guess, isolate yourself from things like that. But yet again, it's very hard to do that nowadays because everywhere we go, everything is just sexual. Everything. It doesn't matter. Instagram, YouTube. Actually, people that are very sexual, they get more credited. They actually get put up a lot higher than someone who's being very classy and very reserved. You know, it's sad. That's just the world that we're going through right now. That's just our
Pornography
society.
of the devil. It is evil, and it fuels evil within us. It fuels the passions. It fuels lust. It reduces all women in our mind and our heart to something that gratifies our feelings. It reduces women in this way. Human beings made in the image of God are then reduced to something that will satisfy our desires. Again, this is evil. St. Isaac the Syrian says to us, whoever does not voluntarily withdraw himself from the sources of temptation will involuntarily become the slave of sin, will be captured and taken away by sin, he says. So let us look at what St. Isaac the Syrian is saying here, that if we do not voluntarily, if we do not choose to deny ourselves, to turn away from those things we know stir up the passions within us, then involuntarily, against our choice, we will be dragged away by sin. We will become slaves of sin.
That is so true, right? If you don't isolate yourself from the thing that's trying to tempt you, the thing that's trying to tempt you to sin, you're eventually going to sin no matter what. And nowadays in our society, it's so much harder for us to get away from it because everywhere we look, everywhere we go, it's just right in front of our faces. It's just right in front of our faces. No matter what, everything is just right in front of our faces. No matter what, I feel bad for myself. I feel bad for guys that cannot just get away from it. Like for me, I would say actually I'm doing a lot better when it comes to this lust. I'm doing a lot better than most guys. You know what I mean? Because for me specifically, I've always been, I guess you can say I've always been like to myself, right? I've always been to myself to the point that I don't lust as much as other guys will. But yet again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not, because I do lust a lot of the time actually. But I think I'm in a better position than a lot of guys because most of the time when I see something like that, I automatically just, oh my, I just roll my eyes, you know? But it's a big problem.
We will be captured. We will become servants of evil. We will find ourselves incapable of resisting sin because we will become the slave of sin. So we must first, as with all temptations which must be cut off at the root before they begin to grow, we must choose to deny ourselves, to reject those things that fuel temptation.